What is up, beautiful people? Welcome back to the channel. So what I have for you guys is a review of the Huawei Nova 12i. So now this is a beast of a phone. I think someone actually asked me to review the phone for them. So I'll just give you guys like a 360 view of what it looks like. So it has a SIM card slot there at the bottom, and just close to it, it has a microphone as well as USB Type-C, and I'll actually talk about the charger because it has like very fast charging speed, but then again it also has a speaker, so I'm actually struggling with focus. Okay, yeah, that's fine. It has a speaker there at the bottom, and then on the left side of the phone, it has nothing, and then at the top it has a speaker there, a microphone I meant, as well as speakers, so it's not very visible, but yeah, it does have speakers just above the selfie camera there. And then also on the right side of the phone, it actually has your volume buttons as well as the fingerprint sensor. So as you guys can see, the screen is very large. So let me just touch on the back camera. So this is what it looks like from the back. Now this thing is a beast of a phone and a very good looking phone, I'm not gonna lie. Main camera is 108 megapixels, and then the other one would be the depth camera, would be 2 megapixels, and I believe it has a macro camera which is 2 megapixels as well, and then it has a flashlight there, and as you can see, like, it feels and looks very premium. So like the camera ring is actually gold, like, which is a very interesting, which gives it that very unique look. And then with the selfie camera, it has 8 megapixels, a selfie camera, front camera. Now again, this is the top of the range Huawei Nova 12i. So this is the one with 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage. Now obviously, it's Huawei, so it doesn't have Google installed, but what you can do, you can actually run Gbox, as you can see there. So you can actually use Gbox to basically use your Google apps. So as you can see here, there's Gmail installed, there's Google Maps installed, so everything still works. But I'll say, like, in terms of performance, this is a beast, man. The CPU is basically a Snapdragon 680, but it's also on 4G, so it's not 5G. I mean, Huawei has like a band, so they can't actually use 5G chips. The screen, as you guys can see, it's a screen, a 6.7-inch screen, so it has 90 hertz refresh rate, and it's an LCD screen. But let me just show you guys what the specs are. Let me just go to the about phone so you guys can see. As you can see, we're running the Huawei Nova 12i, and it's running on EMUI 14, which I believe is based on Android 15. If there's anything to say about this phone, like, it's like the top of the range, man. It has like enough space, it has enough RAM, plus 3 gigs of virtual RAM, so you can take it up to a total of 11 gigs of RAM, which is incredible. And then as you can see, the screen resolution is 2388 by 1080p, so it can basically record videos at 1080p with 30 frames per second. Now this phone was basically released in let me just show you guys what the camera looks like, but it was basically released in 2024 around April, so it's a very good looking phone. So let me just take a picture of the screen there. As you guys can see, I have the specs actually in the background there, but let me just take a picture and then show you guys what it looks like. Okay, as you can see, like, the text is very clear, very detailed. Like I mentioned, this is a beast of a phone. Like, if you need anything solid, then I definitely recommend this phone here. The camera, let me see, it's actually a punch hole camera, as you can see there, and the guy obviously is a fan of pirates. That's why the screen is like that. But yeah, I think in terms of like Wi-Fi, it supports like the latest Wi-Fi standards. It's dual band basically, and then Bluetooth would be 5.0. It has GPS, it has slowness, it has all these other positioning sensors, and then it also has NFC. Let me just show you guys there on the menu. So basically, NFC allows you to use the phone for tap to pay, so you can use your phone when you're tapping in like ShopRite and things like that, instead of actually using your card. So that's very very the battery, let me just touch on the battery as well. So the battery is actually 5000 milliamps, and then it has very fast charging. Like, even when you look at the charger, you can actually see that the thing is a beast, man. The cable is like very fat, very thick and fat, and it has like 40 watts of wired charging, and then it charges from 3 to 62% in around like 30 minutes, man. 30 minutes, just imagine. Oh yeah, and this is the charging brick. As you can see, it supports Huawei supercharger at a maximum of 40 watts there. So you can see it's a USB type A to USB type C, and if you look at the cable, it's actually purple on the inside, just to show you that it's actually fast. Let me fix the focus there, just to show you that it's actually ultra fast. And I believe it also has, the phone actually supports a mode where ultra fast charging mode, where you basically connect the charger, and then you should be able to charge at like from 0 to 100 in like 30 minutes or less. So like, that's ultra charging, but obviously the phone will overheat, so it's not a feature that you want to use all the time. Okay, and this is going to be the ultra charge fast charging feature. So all you do is just hold the, wow. So basically, this is how it works. As you can see, it's already it's called turbocharging, and it should be able to charge the phone very quick. Now obviously you want to use this in like emergency situations, like not all the time. So yeah, that's very good. And it comes in green, black and white. Okay, yeah man, so the price for this phone is actually an astonishing 6,500 rand. I think that's how much I paid for my Huawei P40 Lite, when it was still new. I bought it, so basically the same price. So it's a very expensive phone, but I think you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. Specs wise, you just can't go wrong with Huawei. I mean, this phone is a must have. I'm not gonna lie, it's the definite must have. So you don't get anything better than this. I mean, 8 gigs of RAM with 156 gigs of storage. So you basically can't even fill up this thing unless you're a camera person, and because it has like a very good camera. I mean, the quality, all the storage size, the file size for some of the images and videos that you shoot will be very large, but I think the space compensates for it. So it's a very well balanced phone, and in terms of like performance, so it outperforms a lot of phones. So this is a very high end phone, let me put it like that. It's very the top of the budget, that side, so it should be able to handle gaming quite well. So let me just show you guys how it performs with Car x3, the Car X3. So that's a very demanding game. Okay, perfect. So we're in the game. Let me show you guys the settings. Now this is the game that I actually tested out yesterday on the Redmi 13, and it basically struggles. So what we have is we have the graphics at high. Now this is a very graphically intense game, so I'm not sure if this one will be able to run it smoothly, but let's see. Just turn up the volume there. But yeah, as you can see, so I'm actually watching it from the screen because I can actually. But yeah, I think this is just the way the game is. Like I mentioned, in the video that I posted while I was actually testing this game, the car is just slow to accelerate, man. But the detail, as you can see, is very fine. There's a bit of, it feels like there's a bit of like frame drops and stuff like that. So let's try to tone down the graphic settings. Okay, perfect. We did tone down the settings, and let's see if it feels any different. And as you can see now, it's a bit more responsive. Like I mentioned with this game, the sweet spot should be around there. Just having the sliders just in the middle there. So for me, it performs well. Performs very, very well. You're not losing too much detail. Now again, I'm not sure if this game is just too demanding or what, but this phone is basically running it quite well. I mean, the specs on paper are very good, and Huawei definitely does deliver. Yeah, but as you can see, like the game is very playable, albeit it says they're running at like 10 frames per second, and that's not even the case. So yeah, I'm not sure if it's just the game or what phone. I'm not sure what phone actually runs this game quite smooth, but yeah. That's the phone with gaming, but as you can see, it handles like multiple tasks very well. There's a lot of stuff open there. And I think in terms of like camera wise, you just can't go wrong. You don't get anything better than a Huawei actually. So for me, I think this is a very good buy. This is a very good phone, very decent looking, very modern looking, and a lot of like budget phones are actually starting to copy this design here. They're starting to get like this camera ring thing. So I think for me overall, does exceed my expectations there. Let's see how much storage is still left. And you can see the game is still running in the background, but the phone is not lagging at all. So basically, like the processor is basically a Qualcomm Snapdragon 680. It has like a lot of space for, like I mentioned, like there's no way someone is going to be filling up, the storage like anytime soon. And it's still getting like security patches, which is quite interesting. I think Huawei actually has performance mode, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, yeah, here it is. And then you can basically turn on like performance mode. So this basically was running on just like regular mode. So if you turn it on to performance mode, that's like putting it into like gaming mode. So it should be able to run most of the games well. So if this game runs well with Car x3, then everything else should work. Your things like Genshin Impact and whatnot should work quite well.
Keeping it nicely here. They're just looking now for that final pass through.
Has like 8 gigs of RAM. So overall for me, the phone is very solid. It's a very good buy. It's a very good looking phone. So if you are looking for something similar, then definitely go for this. Definitely go for this. You're not going to regret it like one bit. You're not going to regret it one bit. Again, it chooses 2 SIM cards. So use 2 nano SIM cards or 1 SIM card plus a memory card. I'm actually going to show you guys what the selfie camera looks like. Yeah, it's basically just showing my phone the video. So the selfie camera is also not the sharpest. Okay. So the selfie camera there is also like not the sharpest, but it's still very decent. Still very decent. I think the back camera makes up for the lack of a good selfie camera. So I think for me it's well balanced. The phone it does come with like bloatware, as you guys can see. There's like Booking.com and all these other unnecessary software, but it also does play FIFA. And again, this is not my phone, so I don't want to be opening apps and things like that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. That should be it for now. Cheers and bye.